Hello, brothers and sisters. I'd like to express my appreciation to Tyler Hendricks for his video series, The Victorious Gospel of True Parents. It really reminded me a lot of the incredible foundation that Mother laid for many decades in her life of loyally supporting Father, and how much love I felt for her over those decades. So thank you, Tyler. I'd like to play a clip from Tyler's video, his third video, where he reads from Father's words from 1981.
Father went on to say, the most admirable point about Mother was that she believed in me more than in her own father, grandfather, or elder brother. She believed in me 100%. Thus, she overcame all the obstacles and established a firm position. On another occasion, Father said, whatever happened, even if she should die, she had to keep an unchangeable attitude toward her husband.
30 years later, on August 29, 2011, Father spoke about the future perfection-level blessing of true parents that was to take place on his birthday in 2012. Here's what Father said. By having the holy wedding ceremony of perfected true parents, when I become 93 and Mother becomes 70, we will enter the era in which true parents will go with all the blessed families, heading for perfected heaven and earth. Our birthday next year will be for this wedding ceremony. By having the wedding ceremony when true parents can proclaim their perfection. The day prior to the planned holy wedding of true parents in 2012, Father canceled the wedding. He gave Mother one more year to achieve unity. Since Father passed away before his next birthday, the following year, the final stage, the holy wedding ceremony of perfected true parents, the perfection stage wedding, it never took place. It never took place. If someone had come up to me two years ago and asked me if Father and Mother were united or not, I wouldn't have even understood the question. But that's the question that we're faced with at this time. You know, there's a term in psychology called cognitive dissonance, and I'd like to read you the definition. Cognitive dissonance is the mental stress or discomfort experienced by an individual who is confronted by new information that conflicts with existing beliefs, ideas, or values. And I think that this term cognitive dissonance describes my emotions and the emotions of many brothers and sisters when we look at our beliefs over many, many decades that true parents are completely united, and the things that we've been seeing in the past few years. So let me pose the question again. Is Mother displaying an unchanging attitude towards Father? Let's take a look at Mother's recent declaration in her speech, In Search of the Root of the Universe, on October 24, 2015. And says, the only reference to Father is that there was a rare flower growing by his grave, but there are 4 declarations about how Mother was born as the sinless only begotten daughter, and that how she was the fruit of all Christian history and all Korean history. And then there's another speech that Mother gave on December 6, 2015. In that speech, Mother said,
지금 여러분들이 나와 함께 일심, 일체, 일화, 일념의 자리에서 나아간다면은 승리할 수 있다 없다예요.
있습니다.
예, 여러분들은 축복받은 사람이다. 세상에 70억 인류가 있지만은 어찌하여 여러분이 나를 만났는가? 나로 말미암아 축복 가정이 생겼어요. 그렇죠?
예.
Mother says, "You are blessed people. There are 7 billion people in the world, but how is it that you met me? Blessed families have been made through me," she says. Blessed families are made through Mother? Wasn't there just Mother? Wasn't there someone else involved in making blessed families? Brothers and sisters in the Family Federation will say, well, Mother does make references to true parents, but I wonder if the term true parents has become a marketing tool, like a marketing brand like Nike or McDonald's, and a brand that's really being used to sell the latest theological products coming out of Chunpyeon. But I would say that maybe this brand is missing the original recipe. What can we conclude about the recipe of true parents when the blessing rings distributed in 2013, after Father passed away, had only Mother's name inscribed inside of them? Next, I'd like to share from Tyler's video called Succession 720 V2.
True Father said that filial piety is the first characteristic of the central successor. He said, "My successor among my sons and daughters will be determined in the same way. The one who sacrifices himself the most for the sake of God's will, the one who best exemplifies the principles of loyalty and filial piety."
The main points are that the successor must be the most sacrificial for God's will and exemplify loyalty and filial piety. Well, what did Father think about Hyunjin's standard? Here's what Father said. Today, at this time, there must be only one line of authority. The center, centered on Korea or on the world, over the entire Unification Church, will stretch out and become larger. From now on, I can have someone in charge of my work on my behalf. Currently, there is no one among our church members who surpasses Hyunjin in his standard of faith or in any other way. Do you understand? I am appointing him. That was on April 8th, 2008. And we see that Father made summer declarations every year in 2009, 2010, 2011, and 2012. There wasn't one time when Father expressed any doubt about his anointing of Hyunjin. Of course, 2 weeks after Father went to the spiritual world, Mother suddenly fired Hyunjin from all of his positions in Korea, and then he was sent to America, and then 3 months later he was fired from his position in America. So we would have to conclude that, you know, after Father went to spiritual world, he suddenly realized that he had been completely wrong about Hyunjin, and that Hyunjin was really a disobedient and unfilial son, and should not be trusted and must be fired immediately. Or perhaps that was actually Mother's idea, not Father's idea. Next, Tyler reads Father's words that the successor must be unanimously accepted by all, including the true family.
True Father said, True Father will appoint his successor. That successor must be known to all the Unification Church, all the blessed couples, and the true parents' family. They must all unanimously accept him. Now, we can clearly see that Hyunjin was not unanimously accepted by the true family or by Mother, and then the question is why? Why was he not accepted? Tyler goes on to read Father's words about the need for Hyunjin to be united with Mother. Father's words. This is the era of mother-son cooperation. When the era of mother-son cooperation is grafted into the era of father-son cooperation, blessed families can enter the era of father-son cooperation following true parents' family. Sons will be liberated through mother-son and father-son cooperation. We must enter into the era of father-son cooperation on the victorious foundation of mother-son cooperation through mother.
The era of mother-son cooperation was necessary. And then the question is, what was the reason for the breakdown of mother-son cooperation between mother and Hyunjinim? I'd like to play for you two clips from an interview that Yeonim made last November about this point.
Because they are the one who put their entire trust on father and mother. Father and mother.
When you say them, who do you mean them?
Hyungjinim and Gukjinim.
Yeah.
They actually put trust on mother too, not only father. Yes, there was a friction between father and mother. There was, not agreement. There was sometimes, such a tense moment, but they could take it. They're adult. They have a husband and wife. I'm sure sometimes I really make my husband mad too. But the thing is, they still put their trust on mother, that mother will make a good decision. And a couple of times, Hyungjinim told, Hyungjin sees everything so closely. So Hyungjinim mentioned Gukjinim that, Gukjin, you know what? Maybe we should not put everything under mother's name, because everything was under Mother Mission Foundation, the big Cheonbok Church, the mega church in our church in Seoul, and then Changpyeong Foundation. Many things was under mother's name, because Gukjinim at that time, he was the head of the Korean Foundation, Business Foundation. So he actually persuaded other people to put things under mother's name, because father, after Denver, he did not put anything under his name. And then he said that is the right way to do, because he has a spiritual authority. So since father will not take any legal position, Gukjinim put all his trust to mother. And then he not only just it's a word or position, he put $50 million under her control. So she put that money in Mission Foundation. So he put all, so that, mother doesn't have to beg around the leaders when father is not there. So Gukjinim, really prepared her way so that she can be a victorious true mother from inside and outside. He was really preparing for that.
So we can see in this interview how much effort Hyunjin and Gukjin made actually to support mother and to give her the financial resources so that she would not need to be dependent on any church leaders or to be controlled by them. They wanted to help her. They wanted her to be successful. And now I want to share another clip from the interview where Yeonim explains the efforts that Hyunjin and she made to support mother.
So Hyunjin made even a card, made a prayer for father, made a prayer for mother so that they can recite. And it was like a little business card size card. And then I often distribute that to members. Whenever I meet members, I hand in that card, and we made it into 3 different languages. And we had a little ceremony, the regular ceremony. We actually asked the members to recite that. And Hyunjin was really actively supporting mother, even spiritually like that too. And then I also made a speech. There's one time I have to deliver a message because Hyunjin was away, and I talked about mother. Entire speech was about mother, how faithful wife she is. Because we want mother to be victorious. It's not that we don't know about the rumor and criticism and things that not going well with mother, with father. But we know that we want mother to be really victorious, and we believe that that was not mother's true nature. And that was our really real perspective.
You can see from this clip how much effort Hyunjin and Yeonim made so that mother could be a success. Next, I want to play a clip from Tyler's presentation about from Father's words on the order of authority in the true family.
Father said, the responsible person of the Unification Church is not Hyungjin or Kukjin. On top of Hyungjin, there is Mother, and on top of her, there is Father. Do you understand? Do not forget this. And order starts from one.
So Tyler says on top of Hyunjin is Mother. But he neglects to go to the next sentence where, yes, Tyler, on top of Hyunjin there's Mother, but on top of Mother there's Father. But true parents are one only if Mother is united with Father as her subject. If Mother is an equal subject and Father is a subject, there are two subjects. That is not the principal perspective. In the principal perspective, subject and object are one. That leads to progress. But in feminist power analysis, if there's a man who's a subject, the woman must also be a subject, and then there are two subjects. That's not divine principle. Mother showed no need to lift up Father when she said in 2014 the following statement: "Nobody educated me. God's only begotten Son and God's only begotten daughter are equal. You cannot say that God's only begotten Son educated God's only begotten daughter." Do you understand what I am saying? It's interesting. When Mother says, you cannot say that God's only begotten Son educated God's only begotten daughter, she's saying that would be an insult. She seems to be saying that it would be insulting to her or demeaning to her to say that Father educated her. Why does she think that's an insult? From a principal perspective, that's an honor. But from a feminist power analysis, for a woman to be dependent in any way on a man is seen as an insult. She's not speaking from a principal perspective. In Houston, Mrs. Yu actually commented on this topic of Father raising up and educating Mother. So I'd like to play that for you.
Father said one time that in order for Father to become a Messiah, persecution and hardships is not enough. However, if Father have known that another job to make one woman to complete it, if that was the whole job to become a Messiah, he wouldn't take that job as a Messiah. That much it was hard to raise one woman to the point that they become a mother.
So we can see from Mrs. Yu that the most difficult thing that Father ever did was raising up and educating Mother. But Mother rejects that. Mother doesn't want to admit that she was educated by Father. Now I'd like to read a quote from the Divine Principle. When the object partner becomes completely one with the subject partner, their union can stand before God as a new object partner, resembling his dual characteristics. Moreover, the way for any object partner to stand as an object partner before God is by making oneness with its subject partner. So we can see here that Mother rejected Father as her subject. A clip where Yonem comments about Mother's relationship with Father in the last years of his life.
The dynamic, in my perspective, their dynamic really changed after 2006 when the Cheongpyeong Palace was built. Because since the Hannam-dong, the where they reside in Korea, is very tightly managed, right? But in Cheongpyeong Palace, it's a huge thing. So when father is away, I see mother time to time meet with the leaders separately while father is doing hundoke. So I thought, okay, mother is doing her work. I'm sure she has things to take care of, and that's what I thought. And then I just accepted it that way. And sometimes mother talks about that, to even our children, she says, oh, your Wangappa, which is true father, making my life so hard. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something they fought over, maybe. That's what I thought. And then I didn't really think about it as a really big deal, actually, because I understand that, how they're husband and wife, and they can fight. That's actually what I thought. But as we, my husband and I, attended to father really closely, and after as she meets with other leaders and she voices out opinion, and sometimes I can see that conflicts with father. Many times when they are in Las Vegas, 전하고, many true family members go into their room, and then mother was really sometimes screaming at father, and father was quite upset at her. And there's a couple times that they fought and came out to the hundoke. So father, in the middle of a father is speaking, and mother just walk out. And then she shows visibly that she's angry in front of a member. She used to not do that. Even though she's angry, she'll walk out and she will try to calm down upstairs. But like last 2-3 years, she visibly she's angry in front of members, father. And then all the video was actually erased by the video crew.
So it's clear from Yeonim's interview that after the Cheongpyeong Palace was built, there was increasing disagreement and anger and frustration expressed on the part of mother towards father. And in case you believe that Yeonim is not a credible witness because she's biased, I'd like to play for you a clip from a talk that Mrs. Yu gave in Minnesota in December 9th.
やるためだった。だから UTS も全ての教科をみんな習うでしょ。でお父さんが自信があるのは習ってもどうせこの統一教会の原理は最後だという結論を知ってるからやらせたで UTS 普通の他の教科の進学校と違うのはそれをお父さんが強調したから。ただお父さんはだってこのひどい観点で本人さんが仏教に導入するのを横見てあげたけどお母さんはそれが本当に嫌だからやめるとそこに恨みを持ったんですよ。
A true father was kind of embracing Hyunjin, what he was doing, like because he was shaving his head like a monk, but the father was saying like.
あらゆる宗教にも勉強されているんですよ。結論はどんなに勉強しても統一教会の原理は最高だという結論に至ることを知ってるからそれをされたんですよ。ハムジさんはそうなると思ったけど、ハムジさんはそうじゃなかった。全く仏教に深入りしたからそれは問題ですね。
And so true father was saying in the beginning that because Hyunjin is handsome, that's why he's shaving the head so that he doesn't get tempted and wearing the Buddhism clothes. And because of the Unification Church in the UTS, they study all sorts of different religions. Because the father has confidence, no matter Whatever the religion you study, you come to understand divine principle is the best theology. And so Father was hoping that Hyunjin will come to that point.
だから현재不平不満が何かというと、お父様に対して自分をね、誰々励ましているのに、お母さんがそれダメだと言ってる方、お母さんはお父さんとは全くの基準が違う。
So father was like embracing whatever Hyunjin was doing, but the mother was different. Mother said no.
So Mrs. Yu makes it clear that mother never accepted Hyunjinim as Chu Parent's successor. She was critical of his Buddhist ways, and she was not able to accept Hyunjinim actually going back for many, many years. We can clearly see that father and mother were not united because he believed in Hyunjinim. He saw something in Hyunjinim that was great. He saw something in Hyunjinim that was worthy of being the successor of Chu Parents. But mother didn't see that. Mother could not see what father saw.